Okay, good morning. We're in week 5. Today's Tuesday. It goes right here. Remind me in the last 5 minutes to give back your test. All right, let's take a look here. Number 2, we're trying to solve this equation. Notice that the whole thing is divided by 2.5. So since the whole thing is divided by 2.5, what you want to do is multiply both sides by 2.5. And so what's going to happen when you multiply, this cancels, okay? So you're going to get 1.5x minus 15 is equal to whatever this is. A negative times a positive, that's one negative, so that will be a negative. And then 5.1 times 2.5 is going to give me 12.75. Draw your line, circle your x. You want to add 15 to both sides. And when you do, you're going to get 1.5x is equal to whatever that is. So minus, I get 2.25, and that should be a positive because you got more positives. And then divide by 1.5, and whatever you get your answer. So I end up with 1.5. Okay, you can double check that. Also pay attention to your signs. Make sure they're right. Well, let's go on. This one you have some denominators. Now you could put the 5, the 2, and the 2, or you could just put the 5 and the 2, which is 10. So I would go ahead and multiply this one by 5 times 2, this one by 5 times 2, and this one by 5 times 2. And what happens is the 5's cancel. So it's going to be 2 times all of this. Make sure you distribute. So 2 times 3p is 6p, and then 2 times that 5 is a negative 10. Make sure you do that. This, the 2's cancel, so you're left with plus 5 equals. Here the 2's cancel, so you 5 times 9 is 45. 5 times 1 is 5, and 4 makes 95. And so now what I want to do, since these are on the same side, is combine them. I have more minuses. So it's going to be 6p minus 5 is equal to 95. What I want to do is add 5 to both sides and get 6p is equal to 100, and then divide by 6. And whatever you get should be your answer there. So 100 divided by 6 is going to give you 16.6 repeating. Okay? And that's how you do that problem. Let's go on. Coefficient. Copy this down on a new sheet of paper. This is 2.3. Coefficient is the number in front of the variable. So in this case, the coefficient, like if you take 5x, the coefficient is 5. If you have just plain x, it's understood that the coefficient is 1. Make sure you know that. Okay. Like terms have the same variable and the same exponent. Okay, so it's got to have two things to be like terms. For example, if you take 7x plus 4, these are not like terms because this one has an x, this one does not have an x. So you can't add those up. If you have 7x squared plus 4x squared, or 7x rather plus 4x squared, this has an exponent of 1. So these are not like terms. Yes, they have the same variable, but they don't have the same exponent. Okay, so you can't add those up. In order to be like terms, it'd have to be like 7x squared plus 4x squared. Now I have the same variable and the same exponent, so 7 plus 4 makes 11x squared. And that's how you do that. Remember, you only mess with the exponents when you multiply or divide, not when you add or subtract. All right, let's go on. This one right here you have to distribute. So it's going to be 3x plus 6 plus 2x, and then that's going to be minus 16. So you're going to combine like terms. 3x and 2x makes 5x, and then this one and this one makes a negative 10. Make sure you understand that. Number 2. Number 2 is an equation. Okay, so you're going to get 3x plus 6 minus 5x equals 0. Draw a line. These are like terms, so that's a negative 2x plus 6 equals 0. I want to subtract 6 and get negative 2x equals a negative 6, and then divide by negative 2. So what you're going to have is a double negative. 6 divided by 2 is 3, and you're done. Make sure you understand that. Number 3, draw a line. You got variables on both sides, so you're going to distribute. So that's 3x minus 15 equals 4x, and that's 36. 4 times 9. Okay? Now you got variables on opposite sides, so you can't add these up. But what you want to do is go after the smaller one. 3x is smaller, so you want to subtract 3x from both sides. When you subtract 3x, you get negative 15 is equal to x plus 36. And then you're going to subtract 36 from both sides. And when you do, you get x equals whatever that is. A negative 51, I think. And you can double check that. All right, the last one, number 4. We're dividing by 5. The whole thing is divided by 5, so you want to multiply by 5. So you get 3x plus 11. Now look, when you multiply by 5, you got to do both of these. Equals 5x plus 15. 5 times 3. Now draw your line. You have x's on both sides, or opposite sides. So what you want to do is subtract 3x from both sides because it's smaller. So you get 11 is equal to 2x plus 15. And now it's just a two-step equation. So you want to subtract 15 from both sides, and when you do, you get a negative 4 equals 2x, and then divide by 2, and you get x equals a negative 2. You have more negatives. Actually, that's not right. A negative divided by a positive, you have one negative, so it's a negative. Okay? All right, that's it. Here's your assignment for today. Make sure you ask questions as you need help. Let's turn our attention to geometry. Copy that down. And by the way, your test is going to be on Monday. Okay, so put that down. Test, Monday. So Friday will be a practice test. Okay? And actually, let me think about this. Today's Tuesday. I'm thinking let's go with the test. Monday sounds good. I was thinking about Friday, but we'll see. All right, let's keep moving on this. So what we want to do now is work this out. So here it says give back the test the last 5 minutes. Remind me to give back your test. Parallel and perpendicular. Let's do parallel first. Okay, so parallel, it's going to be y. Label that so you know, and this is your slope. This is the only thing we're using out of here. Scratch all of this out. So parallel is going to be the same slope. So it's going to be y minus my y equals my slope, and then x minus my x. Okay? So which one is my y? And which one is my x? So this becomes y minus 4 is equal to a negative 5 over 9x. This is a plus. A negative times a positive is a negative. Put a 1 under here. 5 times 5 is 25. 9 times 1 is 9. The only thing you have to do now is add 4. So put plus 4 over 1. Scratch that out. Remember the trick. Now you want to multiply this 9 over here. So put 9. So that's going to be a negative 25 over 9 and 36 plus 36 over 9. Now you're going to add these up. It looks like 5, 11. Looks like it's going to be 11 over 9. So plus 11 over 9, and you're done. Make sure you understand that. Any questions on that? Copy it down. Next, this one right here says perpendicular. So you're going to take B, you're going to say y minus your y equals your slope, and then x minus your x. So everything stays the same, but when it's perpendicular, you have to flip change. So if I change it, it becomes a positive, and if I flip it, it becomes 9 over 5. Make sure you understand that. Flip, change, put a star by that. Let's distribute. So you're going to get y minus 4 equals 9 over 5x. Put a 1 under here. That's a plus, double negative. Positive times a positive is still a positive, so that's going to be 45 over 5. The only thing you have to do now is add 4, so put plus 4 over 1, scratch that out. Now, see that 5? Move the 5 over here. So you're going to get 45 over 5 plus 20 over 5. That's going to be 65 over 5. And I think that goes evenly. So get your calculator, let's see. 5 goes into 6 one time with 1 left over. 5 goes into 15, 3. That should be your answer. And that is parallel and perpendicular. Make sure you know that. On a new sheet of paper, there's a few things we have to go over. Copy down this top part where it says graph. All right, now look up here. X equals 0. So draw an X and a Y. Put X and Y. Okay. This is 1, 2, 3. Do you see the tick mark going up and down? So this line would be X equals 3. Okay. Go by the tick mark. X equals 0 is actually the y-axis. I know that's a little weird, but that's true. Okay. So if you want parallel to that, you would have to use undefined slope because a vertical line is undefined. If you want perpendicular, you would have to use 0 slope. Okay, so write this down. Vertical line has undefined slope. Like 5 over 0. Anything over 0 is called undefined. A flat line, a horizontal line, has a 0 slope. Okay, make sure you know that. Okay, let's take a look at the next one. I know that's a little strange, but I'm showing you. Look here, x equals 2, 1, 2. You see the tick marks? Tick mark is going up and down, so your line looks like that. That would be x equals 2. Watch the next one. Y equals 0. This is your y, so you're going up. But actually 0 is actually your x-axis. So this one, y equals 0 is the x-axis. And I know that's strange, but that's true. Y equals 2, 1, 2, and it's sideways. So this would be y equals 2. All right? Now, we'll go over this again tomorrow because I know it's kind of hard maybe to understand. But we got to do one more type of problem. Copy this down. Copy down number 1. It says find an equation in slope intercept form through those 2 points. Well, let's graph these points just for the heck of it. So go -5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then go up 3, 1, 2, 3. You call this one A. And then go -4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then down 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, to graph an equation of that line is what we're doing right now. Okay? To do that, you have to find slope. Now, in Algebra 1, you learned y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Copy that down. That is the formula for slope. Okay? It doesn't matter which one you call 0.1 or 0.2, that doesn't matter. Okay, so label it xy, xy. Always label it. So the y's go where? On the top. So it's going to go -3 minus 3. So that's going to be -3 minus 3. And then -4 minus a -5. So that's going to be a -6. This is a plus. 5 minus 4 is 1. So that's a -6. So your slope is -6. You have to be able to find slope. Remember, the y's go at the top. Okay? Now, you pick either point. I want you to pick the first point. It doesn't matter, but I want you to use the first point. That way we all do it the same way. So it's going to be y minus my y equals my slope, and then x minus my x. So it works the same way as before. The only difference is you have to find the slope. We're not doing parallel. We're not doing perpendicular. We're doing a line through those points. Now let's finish it up. So you get y minus 3 equals, this is a plus, so that becomes a -6x. A negative times a positive, so -30, 6 times 5. And then you want to add 3 to both sides. There will be some on today's worksheet that you don't know how to do. Skip them for now. Work everything you can do. We're done. Now let's try one. Try this one. I want an equation through these 2 points. We don't have to graph it. And I want you to use this point. So right now, find the slope. Remember, the y's go at the top. So it's something minus something over something minus something. Copy that down. All right, what goes in the top? So your y's are right here. So it's going to be 3 minus a -3, and then x minus x. So -1 minus a -5. So your slope, that becomes a plus. So that becomes 6. This becomes a plus. 5 minus 1 is 4, and you can reduce that by 2. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. 4 divided by 2 is 2. That's your slope. So it's going to be y minus my y, which is a -3, equals my slope, and then x minus my x. Okay? It's a lot of work, but you have to be able to do this, and it's going to be on your test. So you have to first find the slope correctly. Make sure you put the y's at the top. Y's at the top, okay? And then work it out. So let's finish it up. So I get y plus 3 equals 3 over 2x. This is a plus. Put a 1 under there. Remember the trick. 3 times 5 is 15. 2 times 1 is 2. The only thing you have to do now is subtract 3 over 1, just like you did before. So 3 over 2x. This right here, you're going to take the 2 right here, and you're going to get 15 over 2 minus 6 over 2, and that's going to be 9, I think it is. So that's going to be plus 9 over 2, and you're done. And that's what we're doing. Now, if you're at home and you can't be with us, this is the worksheet, and I'm going to upload it in just a moment. Okay? So parents, if you need to, copy it down. Students, copy it down. There it is. All right. Have a good morning, and I'll see you guys in class. X out of this.